What's up, guys? This is Chris from DraftDashboard.com. Here are my DFS picks for NBA Tuesday, June 30th. These picks apply for the DraftKings Showdown slate. Before I get started, please drop a like on this video and hit that red subscribe button and hit that bell icon so you don't miss our new videos. In this video, I'm going to go over my top picks for today's NBA slate. And if you stick around to the very end of this video, we'll use the Draft Dashboard tools to make a DFS lineup using the picks we just made. Okay guys, real quick for those who don't know how these simulated slates work, everything works the same. You build a full lineup using the players available in the slate. The only difference is the fantasy points each player scores is a fantasy score from any game that player has played so far this year. Only players with at least 15 games played are in the player pool. Pretty simple. They just take a score at random from previous games that player has played, and that's it. So knowing how that works, we've added some tools to Draft Dashboard so you can see all the possible outcomes of scores from each player, and we show the percent chance that the player has to score in each point range. So pretty handy. You can hover over the Sim Scores button and see right here exactly what scores this player can get for this contest. It will be one of these at random, and then you can see what percent chance they have to score in these point ranges. Okay, remember, we have a daily cheat sheet for esports for League of Legends, and that's linked from the Sports tab right at the top of Draft Dashboard. And we now have a cheat sheet for Korean baseball, NASCAR, and the MMA, and you can find those cheat sheets linked from the Draft Dashboard news. Okay guys, let's take a look at this DraftKings showdown between the Utah Jazz and the Brooklyn Nets. I'm going to start off by giving you the top value play on the slate, and that's Deandre Jordan, projected at 25.8 fantasy points here tonight. That's 6.2 times value. He's 4,200 DraftKings salary. Let's take a look at his sim scores. An 11% chance to score 15 fantasy points or less, a 64% chance to score 15 to 30 fantasy points, a 21% chance to score 30 to 45 fantasy points, and a 4% chance to score 45 to 60 fantasy points. So I like Deandre Jordan here at 4,200 DraftKings salary. Okay, another player I like is Karis Levert, projected at 31.3 fantasy points here tonight. That's 5.2 times value. He's 6,000 DraftKings salary. Let's take a look at his sim scores. A 10% chance to score 15 fantasy points or less, a 44% chance to score 15 to 30 fantasy points, a 33% chance to score 30 to 45 fantasy points, and then he has an 8% chance to score 45 to 60 fantasy points, and a 5% chance to score 60 fantasy points or more. So this is my favorite play of the slate. I like Karis Levert here at 6,000 DraftKings salary. I think he's a lock on this slate. Okay, another mid-range value play here. I like Mike Conley, projected at 26.2 fantasy points here tonight. That's 5 times value. He's 5,200 DraftKings salary. Let's take a look at his sim scores. A 20% chance to score 15 fantasy points or less, a 46% chance to score 15 to 30 fantasy points, and a 34% chance to score 30 to 45 fantasy points. So I like Mike Conley here at 5,200 DraftKings salary. And then here for just 600 more, I like Jarrett Allen, projected at 28.3 fantasy points here tonight. That's 4.9 times value. He's 5,800 DraftKings salary. Let's take a look at his sim scores. A 9% chance to score 15 fantasy points or less, a 45% chance to score 15 to 30 fantasy points, a 38% chance to score 30 to 45 fantasy points, a 6% chance to score 45 to 60 fantasy points, and a 2% chance to score 60 fantasy points or more. So he has a 46% chance to score 30 fantasy points or more and get you over 5 times value. So I like Jarrett Allen here at 5,800 DraftKings salary. Real quick, guys, I got great news. For a limited time, we're offering a full 30-day trial to Draft Dashboard. So look, guys, I know there's not a lot of sports playing right now, but we are posting a daily cheat sheet for esports for the League of Legends contests, and we just added these new DFS tools for the NBA simulated slates. We're going to be updating our tools to help you pick the best players for these sim sports, and I think these tools are going to give you a big advantage. There's no human element here. This is a stats game. This is a math problem. This is where our tools can really help you identify the numbers, the percent chance these players are going to score within these point ranges, so you know what you're getting into with each pick. Okay, another player that I like, if you need some salary here, is Joe Ingles. But I do prefer Jarrett Allen and Mike Conley, so I'm going to go ahead and skip Joe Ingles. I don't think you're going to have to play him. Now moving up in salary here just a little bit, I like Torian Prince, projected at 25.1 fantasy points here tonight. That's 4.1 times value. He's 6,200 DraftKings salary, so he was the best play for this salary range. So Torian Prince has a 19% chance to score 15 fantasy points or less, a 53% chance to score 15 to 30 fantasy points, a 27% chance to score 30 to 45 fantasy points, and a 2% chance to score 45 to 60 fantasy points. So you're only playing Torian Prince if you've got the extra salary here. You can see Joe Harris, who is $200 more, is a slightly better play. Well, actually, Joe Harris, he has a 29% chance to score 30 to 45, whereas Torian Prince has a 27% chance to score 30 to 45, but Torian Prince has a 2% chance to score 45 to 60. So a little bit more upside on Torian Prince, but he has Joe Harris has less low-end risk with only an 11% chance to score 15 fantasy points or less versus Torian Prince with a 19% chance to score 15 fantasy points or less. So these two players are really about the same. I don't know. I think I'm going to go with Torian Prince, but I don't mind Joe Harris here. That 2% chance is a small percent chance to score 45 to 60. So just thinking this one out loud here, I'm probably going to go with Joe Harris just to eliminate that low-end risk. He's most likely going to get you between 20 and 45 fantasy points. Okay, let's move on here, guys. The captain of the slate, I like Kyrie Irving, projected at 47.5 fantasy points here tonight. That's 4.2 times value. He's 11,200 DraftKings salary. Let's take a look at his sim scores. A 0% chance to score 15 fantasy points or less, a 10% chance to score 15 to 30 fantasy points, a 45% chance to score 30 to 45 fantasy points, a 15% chance to score 45 to 60 fantasy points, and a 30% chance to score 60 fantasy points or more. He's got a 71, a 76. So I like Kyrie Irving in the captain spot. Plenty of value plays to fit this guy in. So I like Kyrie Irving here at 11,200 DraftKings salary. Okay, another player I like is Spencer Dinwiddie, projected at 36.8 fantasy points here tonight. That's 4.2 times value. He's 8,800 DraftKings salary. Let's take a look at his sim scores. A 3% chance to score 15 fantasy points or less, a 25% chance to score 15 to 30 fantasy points, a 53% chance to score 30 to 45 fantasy points, a 17% chance to score 45 to 60 fantasy points, and a 2% chance to score 60 fantasy points or more. So I like Spencer Dinwiddie for 8,800 DraftKings salary. And another player I like is Rudy Gobert, projected at 40.1 fantasy points here tonight. That's 4.1 times value. He's 9,800 DraftKings salary. Let's take a look at his sim scores. A 0% chance to score 15 fantasy points or less, a 21% chance to score 15 to 30 fantasy points, a 48% chance to score 30 to 45 fantasy points, and a 32% chance to score 45 to 60 fantasy points. So I like Rudy Gobert here at 9,800 DraftKings salary. So the players I'm going to avoid in this slate, looks like Donovan Mitchell is way overpriced at 10,600 DraftKings salary compared to the other players you've got that have comparable or better sim scores for less. So I'm going to avoid Donovan Mitchell. I'm going to avoid Jordan Clarkson. But the rest of the players are pretty much in play here, guys. My strategy on this slate here is going to be to go with Karis Levert and then a bunch of the 5,000 mid-range value like Mike Conley, Jarrett Allen. And then I'm going to get Rudy Gobert in there. But I'm going to make a couple of lineups for you guys at the end of this video, so stick around for that. Those are my DraftKings picks for tonight's DraftKings Showdown. If you want to try all these daily fantasy tools for yourself, click the link in the description below this video or just go to draftdashboard.com. You can use our DFS lineup optimizer to build quality lineups using our picks and your own custom player pool. Click the link in the description below this video and try all these daily fantasy tools right now. Thanks so much for watching. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe to this channel and hit that bell icon so you can get instant updates whenever we post a new video. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. If you enjoyed this video, please smash that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Oh, and please comment below with your favorite player for this NBA slate. I love to hear what you guys have to think. Thanks again and good luck. Okay guys, if you're getting any value from this video, please hit that red subscribe button. We put out new fantasy basketball videos every single day. So if you hit that subscribe button and ring that bell notification, you won't miss out on any of our new fantasy basketball and fantasy football videos. Tons of free stuff coming your way. It only takes a second, and it helps us push out more fantasy content for you guys to consume each and every day. It's because of you subscribers that make this possible. So thank you for supporting this channel. This is a quick reminder, you should be reading the comments of this video. We have some savvy basketball fans who watch these videos, and they often give great plays and call me out when my picks are wrong. Wisdom of the crowd is a great way to get a feel for what players the field likes in today's NBA slate. We also have a DFS tool that shows you what players our members like for today's slate, so you can come on in and check that out.